Hey guys, mulltiy here. Today, first video for phase 2 in Season of Discovery. We are 3 or 4 days in. Everything started on Thursday. Right now is Sunday morning. I'm on my WOTLK level 31, so I'm leveling quite slow at this time. But sure, we will make it to 40 and then we see what's going on in the end game. Today I want to talk with you about the tier list for the rated DPS charts. We already have a good amount of data for the raid, which is crazy when you think about that people have to are already level 40, and yeah, it's a bunch of. So let's go here, and as you can see, sure, that makes no sense over a range of 2 weeks, so we only have these few days, but as you can see here how many parsers we already have, it's a lot. That means especially on classes like Mage, Warlock, Rogue, Warrior, Hunter, Druid, Paladin, we have a lot of information, a lot of data. So things can change, yes, but I would say this data is already pretty good to see what is right now exactly the moment that you hit level 40. Maybe you have some runes, but for sure you have not. Be scared. How is the DPS charts looking? And it looks pretty different to phase 1. Hunter is still one of the top classes, but it is the melee hunter in that case, as you can see. So I think this is the sign for melee hunter. And then pretty not close followed, but followed by DPS priest, which is for me a big surprise. I know they had a lot of changes, but I did not think that they were a top DPS. Followed by priest and then by warlock. So I think it would make sense to have here an S+. Let me see, at a row above. Okay, let us do it like this. We make here S+. We put here the hunter, and then we follow by priest and warlock. Is there a warlock? Should be fire, or I guess I put this sign. And the shadow priest, sure, it has this. So followed by these two classes. Like I said, is definitely, in general, if you see elemental shaman, fire mage, balance druid, we have a lot of caster very high in the charts. Besides one melee, that's the melee hunter, and then followed by the pretty common warrior, rogue, warrior and rogue stuff that we already had in phase 1. So seems like the tables have turned a little bit, but what is still very crazy is the difference from a frost mage, so the last good spec, to the least good spec, to the best spec. That is a crazy difference. Yeah, we let us complete this. We have then elemental shaman, fire mage, and balance druid so close together that I think we can put them in A tier. So fire mage, elemental shaman, and balance druid, followed by warrior, mage, arcane mage, and rogue. Warrior is for sure the fury, I guess, then followed by arcane mage. Most of them have two-hand ores, should be then arms, but I think they are spec'd into fury, but doesn't matter, it's more about the sign. And then rogue, I just take this sign for the rogue. And then we have all the other specs that are down here besides the frost mage. Frost mage would be the only one that I say not really playable at this point, but yeah, everything else, frost mage, everything else, I just put it here, is okay. I don't put this more because we already have those specs. Nobody seems like to play Beastmaster at this point. Is then Marksman Hunter, but yeah. So we have one very bad one, is Frost Mage. All these classes here, or specs, are also not doing pretty good. I hope Blizzard is doing here something, but maybe also gear will change it. We have classes that are very good, have a good sailing with gear. So there can changes come. We don't know how hard they will be. For me, it's very surprising that we have this pack of casters above the pack with, which definitely should include warrior and rogue, in my opinion. Maybe also a little bit the raid, how it is built. A lot of maybe armor and stuff like this, so I don't know, maybe it's better for Karsta at this point, which is fine having here change. For me the change is maybe a little bit too drastic. Like I said, from I think as far as I can know, Shadow Priest was just a little bit ahead of Frost Mage, so it came from a bottom tier spec to absolute top tier spec. It's for me a little bit too much of a change, just in one slight moment. But apart from this, okay, we have also the Elemental Shaman seems pretty good. We have the Balance Druid now seems pretty good, but they were already rising at the end of last phase. Fire Mage in general was pretty good. Same I would say about Warlock. Warlock sure also made here some steps. And yeah, if I would have to point out losers of this meta, I would say we have definitely Warrior and Rogue losing some spots, and we have the Marksman Hunter losing some spots, but to be honest, it doesn't matter that much because we have the Melee Hunter that is now so crazy on top that, yeah, is in general the best class. I have here 95 percentile. Things are not really changing if you put here something else. All percentiles. So it always looks quite similar. Here's the Rogue a little bit higher, but in general it looks quite similar. And as I said, it's the first week, is only one raid at this point, so everybody could only make one raid. We have some classes with very low specs, with very low sample size, like a Frost Mage, like Enhancement Shaman, like the seems more Arms Spec Warrior or whatever, or even Elemental Shaman with only 177. But we have also a lot of specs with a good amount, with over 1,000 runs already. And if you count all this together, we have here over, I don't know, but like 15,000 people, 15,000 people already raiding, which gives you definitely a hint. So don't get me wrong, it can happen that a Fire Mage is coming ahead of a Shadow Priest in maybe 1 or 2 weeks, but it's not happening that a Shadow Priest is falling down to a Frost Mage spec, just to make that clear. So changes can happening, but they should be only slight. And sure, when the gear is popping off, when gear is mattering, we have Warrior, we have usually Rogue that are very good scaling with gear. Other classes maybe not that much. For sure, Shadow Priest, we know they got their Shadow form with level 40. I think the most important spell, they have it also on level 40 leveled up, so they have definitely here some benefits that other classes don't have. But this is how it looks at this moment. See you guys, have a nice day, bye bye.